I'm Travis with Subsurface Solutions. I want to show you our GPS mapping app called Subsurface Maps. We've been developing this for the last couple of years because we weren't happy with all the apps that were out there to collect GPS data on the locations of your pipes and cables. And this works well with any 8000 or 8100 series radio detection locator, along with any external GPS device that you want. We have the Juniper Geode here that gets us down to 6-inch accuracy or better. And it's nice because it's just turn on and you go. It does a really good job in heavy foliage or if you're near a building to give you the accuracy that you need. But if you have another GPS device like an RTK system or any other Trimble or Arrow device, you can run it with this as well. But in our studies, we found the Juniper Geode is actually more accurate than the RTK, and it's easier to use. You just turn it on and everything's Bluetooth over to your device. And so we have the Juniper Geode here that runs on a lithium-ion battery, and it's tied with the locator on by a RAM mount that Radiodetection makes. It plugs in right to the bottom there and keeps it nice and sturdy. You can easily tee off another arm to the side to have a phone holder if you want to use your phone instead of a tablet and keep the phone or the tablet off to the right here. But we also sell poles. Some people like to use a survey pole and have everything mounted on the survey pole and hold it in their other hand. I like this because it's one-hand operation. You keep everything in this hand and I can easily type in what I need to do on the screen here with my thumb. And so we've developed the app to do three things that the other apps out in the marketplace don't do. One, sync up all the data in one spot. We store it on a cloud-based system, and so everybody working on the same job can see what everybody else is doing. And you can have multiple users on the same account, and you can sync up your data, and everybody's on the same page. And that's what makes it nice. You can color code and change your symbols and everything after the fact. The nice thing is too, it's unlimited. You can upload data. As much data as you want, download data as much data as you want. We can store photos, store video. So if you're doing sewer inspections or if you're just taking photos of transformers and other pedestals, manholes, you can tag them right to the location of where you're taking that reading. And the other nice thing about this app is it syncs up everything. The workflow is real easy. It pulls in the locate data, the depth reading, and the current measurement, the frequency, and it also pulls in the GPS data simultaneously without really even touching the app. You can just hit the survey cert button here on the locator and it will store your location as you're moving along. So I'm going to start up the app here, and the app is free if you're a Subsurface Maps subscriber. And as soon as I start it up, it's going to pull up a list of my jobs. And I'm just going to start on the demo map here to collect my data, and we'll go ahead and locate out this gas line, and I'll show you how this works. And so when I start this up, I just go to my GPS status, and I want to tell it what kind of GPS I'm using. Am I using the GPS on the tablet, or am I going to use an external? So I find the geode listed in my list of devices here, click on it, and as soon as I click on it, I'll see my long start to pop in and give me my location. And right now we're down to about 3-foot accuracy, but it's going to get better since we just started this thing up. And now that I know I got GPS location, I'm going to go ahead and draw. So I push on the draw key here, and there's 3 different options for drawing out a line. You can use the blue crosshairs to actually peg a point in this without using the GPS. If you know a manhole or a hydrant or something's at a certain location, you can see it on your area photography on your app. You can just click on it, click on where it's at, and store the point. The second one is a yellow crosshairs, and that actually hones in on your location where the geode's saying you're standing, and you can go ahead and put a point there. The third one is GPS trace. The GPS trace tool is to be used when you're using the locator. And the nice thing about this is it will record to 2 layers at once, which was important to us because we don't want our depth readings and other information actually stored on the actual line itself. We want it tagged onto a point. So when we're taking the location at a meter or a pedestal, and we're taking a photo of that pedestal or meter, we want it tagged onto that point. We don't want it tagged onto the whole line at once. And you can also export them separately and symbolize them differently and color code them differently that way too. And so on my points layer, I'm just going to select depth points. On my line, I'm going to select gas line. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. I'm hooked up to this gas service, and the first thing I want to do is probably take a reading right over the meter. And so I'm going to put my geode right here. The nice thing about our app is you do not have to use the locator all the time. You can go ahead and click up on the screen here, the yellow crosshairs, to hone in on the location where I'm standing with this geode. and it will populate a form that will come up. And this form is customizable. You can make any attribute you want on this form. We have an attribute called locator depth. Obviously, that we're not going to take a depth here, so we're going to skip that one. Up in the description area, I'm going to go ahead and type out that we are on a gas service, and I'm going to lock that feature. That's a little lock icon on the screen that will enable that feature to be automatically reproduced over and over again. So each reading from this point on the service, gas service, will appear in description automatically. So that saves you some time. We wanted this app to be really easy to use and not slow you down. You want to be able to GPS map as fast as you can locate. You don't want to spend all your day putting in all this data, so you want as much of the workflow to be automated as possible. So I'm going to tag this as a valve, or as a meter. Underneath I have pipeline attributes set up, and there I will collect meter, and then scroll down to my photo icon, hit the photo icon, and point and shoot the meter in. And as soon as I do that, it will upload to the app, and I can see a little bit of it down there. There it is, showing up there on the screen, and I'm done. I'm done collecting that meter, and we'll go ahead and collect this line. So now I'm continuing on my locate. I'm locating this out, and when you locate it out, you make sure you get a depth reading showing up on your locator, and if you're happy with the location, you just hit the Survey SERP button here on the 8100 series locator, and that will go ahead and trigger the app to take a reading, and you'll see that the form pops up automatically. It shows me what frequency I'm using, the locator current, and up at the top, there's my depth reading, 20 inches, and I don't have to hit nothing on the app. I can just keep on moving along and save these readings as fast as I can locate. So we have a 2'2" reading right there. I've hit the button, it will automatically close that previous form, and now I got 26 inches showing up on my new point there. And I'll just go ahead and take a couple more points here. Got my depth reading showing on the locator. Hit the Survey SERP button. There it comes up 30 inches on my tablet. And one last reading on the service. And we are done with the service. So I'm going to go ahead and hit add on my tablet, close that line, and start a new one. And I'm going to go locate a little bit of this main now. Take my first reading on the main, saying 2'7", send it over to the tablet. My form pops up, and I will go ahead and change this from gas service to gas main, and continue on. I'll find the line, hit the button, and it's already taken its point, sending the location data and the depth reading, 36 inches, to the tablet. And as you can see, this is very quick. You don't have to take a point every 10 foot. You can go ahead and go 50 foot as long as the line stays in a straight line. You can go as fast as you want. And it's just a simple, easy way to give you location data and store it in a cloud-based mapping system and not slow you down. And so we'll go ahead and locate out the rest of this main. We'll do some of the water line, the electrical, everything on this office complex, and go back in the office, and I will show you what it looks like. All right, I'm back here in the office, and we're going to take a look at everything that we located on the office complex, the gas, the electrical, and the water. And we have it here up on the screen. We synced up our data from the tablet, and it automatically appears. So anybody back at the office and yourself can stylize it, make it look exactly like you want it, and share it and easily export it. And so we have our list of all our layers over here on the left side, and we can unclick them or click them to bring them on or off on the map, and we can stylize them however we want. Maybe I want this gas line to be a dotted line instead of a straight line or a solid line. I can easily change that. I can also change the width to be larger, smaller. It's pretty unlimited. You can also change the symbology. So maybe you don't want your depth points to be dots. You want them to be larger and triangles or whatever you want. You can easily do that. And after you're all said and done, you can export this information as well. You can go ahead and hit the export layer, export it as a shapefile, a CSV, Google Earth file, whatever it is. You just go ahead and click it and select which layers you want to export and hit the export button. And you can see I have the KMZ appear down here that I can then open up in Google Earth. We also have a share feature up on the top. There's a button up here. We can just go ahead and share this map by putting in the person's email address and hitting send, or copy the hyperlink and send it to them in a separate email. And therefore we can easily give this to somebody, maybe a client or a customer that doesn't have access to Subsurface Maps or a subscription service, and they'll be able to see it for 30 days. But this has a complete online video training included, and it will easily let you get you going, and you can watch the videos and see what you want to do and learn it. It's a great system that's really affordable for anybody. It's starting again at $30 a month and going up to unlimited amount of users for less than $100 a month. I mean, you're replacing basically an Esri service that's very expensive, but we refined it to be a lot more user-friendly for the utility, contract locator, or whomever, to get everything mapped out and stored. So when you go out and do more locates, you know exactly where that line's laying and how deep it is. We also have a work orders layer in here that if you had a water leak or you had a damage or an exposure, you can go back and fix it easily by assigning a work order and sending it to a guy to go take care of it. And so, you know, one last thing, I'll just click on this very first reading we took out there in the field, and you can see under attachments, I got my photo of that meter, and I can click on it and it will go ahead and open it up. It's a pretty large photo. Once it's done downloading, it will truncate it to fit on my screen here. There you go. There's the meter. I can print that off, send it on, do whatever I want to it. But you can see on that form, I have everything listed that I need. My lat, my long, my elevation, my GPS uncertainty. It's a great tool. And so if you want to try it out, give us a holler and we'll get you set up. You're not tied into any kind of contract. You can export your data anytime. It's your data. Go to a different service if you don't like it, but you can at least try it starting at $30 a month.